During COVID, my wife took up crafting and has become quite good at it. She makes beautiful creations. We have talked in general terms about setting up a business or renting a table at a craft show to sell her goods, but didn't take any concrete action until recently. One day, my wife was commenting how she wished she could do her crafts as a full-time job. I decided to surprise her and registered her preferred domain name, and over the course of a couple weeks, secretly built her an online store. That is so nice of you. I showed her the store and things got real very quickly. We built a business plan, spent several $1,000s of joint funds and startup costs, and have been actively pursuing sales with some early success and positive feedback. It is early days and we are not yet profitable. I am involved in all aspects of the business: procurement, sales, marketing, and fulfillment, except design and production. I have also happily taken on more of the housework so she has time to create products. Over the last few days, my wife has gotten very territorial and cringes when I talk about our business. At times, she actively tries to correct me and insists it is her business. She sees my role somewhere between an employee and what is expected of a supportive husband. I get it. This business is her dream that I was helping her to realize. I don't want to overstep, and I have reassured her that she is the CEO and gets final say over all aspects of the business, but I am still a co-founder and owner. I feel like the recognition that this is a joint business is important given the amount of time and energy we're both investing into it. It is a journey we're doing together, life partners and business partners. Her dream has become my dream. Here is where I may be the asshole. My wife continues to be protective, and I told my wife that unless she accepts me as a partner, let's say 49%, I will find other ways to support her but won't be working on the business. There is too much work for one person to do, and I am afraid of sabotaging the business by ceasing work. She's given me half-ass answers and that she appreciates my support but won't say the magic words that she considers me a business partner. Am I overstepping, and am I the asshole? Oh, this is a complex question. And actually, I have been in this situation with many clients. And so, first of all, we can't rewind completely backwards, but because this video also other people are watching it, I wanna rewind to what maybe should have happened in the beginning, okay? First of all, I wanna acknowledge, great job as a husband really wanted to support your wife. And at the moment that you decided to surprise her and give her all of these things, and I don't know what your background is. I don't know if you come from like a traditional or corporate job or an entrepreneurial background, but it sounds like you haven't done that either. And so when you were doing these things from her, one of the other things you might have wanted to consider is having a business advisor talk through ownership, equity, roles and responsibilities very early on, right? And I get that that's sometimes not something we're thinking about when we're excited and we're in momentum, and how she was probably so excited that you were supporting her. So now it's not too late to do what I just mentioned, and that is to go get a qualified business advisor to talk out what is the right scenarios for both of you. Because, you know, her desires to own the business completely and your desire to be recognized as a co-founder and even a 49% owner, there are other scenarios that you're probably not thinking about, and it's really important to get a qualified advisor who will help mediate and show different scenarios and long-term impacts of the decisions that you're making. And so I would do that, number one, okay? Number two, let's talk about the personal issues that are coming up, because I always like to say there's no such thing as a business problem. There's only personal problems that are getting in the way of business momentum. And so right now that's really clear. It's already happening in these conversations that both of you are having. And so I would highly recommend, if you're not doing it already, is to actually work out your personal issues where the business is also part of it, because I guarantee you, whatever frustrations both of you have, there's some other things where that's showing up in your personal lives. Guaranteed. And so I highly recommend go and get a therapist to both individually work on yourselves and then together help you communicate better around not just this specific topic, but all topics. Let me tell you a little bit of a story. When I was first dating my now husband, he's my second husband, one of the first things I did, because I learned this in my first marriage, the things that you're talking about right now actually happened to me. And unfortunately, it turned out that I got a divorce from it. Now, I'm happy with my life now, but I knew that I didn't really engage when it came to my ex's desire to be a part of the business. So what I wanted to make sure with my potential new husband when I was dating him is I was very clear, look, I have this business, I am already in momentum, etc., and there's a role that I'm looking for you to play inside of our personal life as well. And you mentioned something about like you've picked up some housework, you've done other things to make sure that your wife has time and energy and capacity to work on this new business. So I knew that these kind of things would come up between me and my current husband. And so immediately I said, are you open and willing to have a facilitator and a mediator help us work through these issues, not just now, but give us a system to work through whenever we have conflict like this. And I'm glad to say that he actually said yes. And it sounds like, again, all the things that you mentioned here, it sounds like you two are at least in alignment to some degree, but now this business is causing some friction. And so I did this work, and now I actually teach this work, and it's called values-driven decision-making. And it first starts with understanding your values and then your spouse's or your partner's values. And this is true whether or not you're married or even a business partner. And so in order for that to work, you actually have to know what are the values and a communication cadence of how to work that out. And so again, whether you do that with a business advisor who has a mindset and a lifestyle way to determine these things, or you go and get a family therapist who works with you each individually and then allows you to work together through these problems, you need to do that if you want to keep your marriage alive, because running a business is the hardest thing you could ever do. I always like to say, having a traditional job, even if there's toxicity and frustration over there, it's actually a lot easier than running a business. And so when you're actually married and in the business, you actually have to spend more time, energy, and money on preserving the communication cadence and the relationship. So I don't think you're an asshole, but I do think that you saying what you want and holding firm, and her saying what she wants and holding firm, you're at a stalemate. And unless you care about your marriage, then you will become the asshole if you don't work with her to have a real conversation and get an expert to help you facilitate it.